It's Jake Jeremy, and you're watching the SEScoops YouTube channel. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about AEW and how they managed to take what could have been the company's biggest ever miss, and they've seemingly turned it into a pretty big hit. As you are more than likely aware by now, the AEW Revolution pay-per-view on Sunday ended with not an explosion, but it was pretty much a dud. So the ending of the Kenny Omega-John Moxley match, which was a very good match, a very good exploding barbed wire death match. Not something I thought I'd ever say for AEW, but it was. It was a very good exploding barbed wire death match. It ended when Kenny Omega hit a massive one-winged angel on John Moxley on a folding chair. It was a nasty way to end the match. It was a really good, brutal, back and forth affair. But after that, Omega and the Good Brothers left the ring, and Eddie Kingston rang in to save his friend, because after the 30-minute countdown, the ring was going to explode no matter what. But as you're well aware now, the ring didn't explode. It was a complete dud. We saw some sparklers from the turnbuckles. We saw some, little, outside of the ring. It wasn't great. It didn't look fantastic. The fans in attendance were booing. As I said, fans were trashing it online. It wasn't a good way to end the show. Now, Tony Khan himself said after, at the post-game media scrum, he said, look, it was put together by Kenny Omega in storyline. He put the plans, he wrote the plans in crayon and then tweeted it. Did you really think it was going to go off? Now, fast forward to Wednesday night, and AEW had to do something about this. Now, WWE in the past have been guilty of giving us stuff like this, like the hammer ending in the Hell in a Cell match between Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins. They've given us some instances of this sort of like nonsensical, complete duds of a way to end a pay-per-view, and they just haven't addressed it. They've moved on, which they're perfectly allowed to do. It makes sense. Why bring up something? Why try and fix something that you don't necessarily have to? You can just move on in storyline. People are going to forget it in a couple of weeks. You just move on and get on with it. AEW didn't do that. They want to be different. They want to be the promotion that really listens to their fans. And yes, it felt a bit hokey. It felt a bit ridiculous, but they tried. They tried to rectify this situation, and the way in which they did that, they had John Moxley and Eddie Kingston sat speaking to the camera in front of a fireplace type table. It was a great promo. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch Eddie Kingston and John Moxley talk about how they viewed the situation. Eddie Kingston was talking about, look, the bomb went off, and when it happened, he kind of blacked out for a second. He got flashbacks to when he was in prison. It was a clever way of trying to kind of move over this point, try and be like, look, it was planned this way. And then you had Don Callis, Kenny Omega, and the Good Brothers in the ring later that night on Dynamite. And that's exactly what Callis said. He said, look, we wanted to make John Moxley look stupid, and in addition, we made Eddie Kingston look stupid. So it all worked out. In a way, the botch may actually help the storyline, because Eddie Kingston wasn't invested in taking out Impact before this. John Moxley wasn't invested in taking out Impact Wrestling before this, but they agreed. They said, look, Impact paid for the bomb. The joke is that Impact has no money. They don't pay their talent, which is slightly ridiculous. It's a bit redundant these days, but that's the storyline they're going with. So it now gives the tag team, which is now a tag team, Eddie Kingston and John Moxley, a reason to go after Impact, which means that they might be going after the Impact Tag Team Championships, which are held by the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, who are top draw Impact talents. So they're part of the group with Don Callis and Kenny Omega. It makes sense in the feud. Now, we had Christian Cage appear during the segment last night for the AEW Dynamite promo. He showed that he was meant to be Cage coming out and discussing why he's joined AEW, but then Kenny Omega, Don Callis and the Good Brothers interrupted that and made the whole scene about them. Cage would come out later on and basically interrupt, looking like he's setting up a feud with Kenny Omega. So this botch, in a way, has worked out. Now, clearly it was a botch because Omega wasn't happy. People weren't happy. Moxley was livid after the event. He said to the crowd, look, this is awful. The bomb that Kenny Omega made was awful. But I've got to give credit to AEW. This is probably the first big misstep, first real big misstep. Yes, there's been a few issues here and there with certain things, but this is the first real big misstep in company history. And I think they've navigated it probably in the best way they could. And it's all credit to them. They've taken a bad situation and they've tried to make it make sense in their storylines. So thank you very much for watching right here on YouTube. Again, this is SEScoops. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, and that little notification bell so you know each and every time we release a brand new video right here on YouTube.